Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, today we're going to be looking at 10 must-have games for the Super Nintendo. Sorry, no, 10 must-have games for the NES or the NES or the Nintendo Entertainment System. So, okay, now let's face it, I could turn around and go, we'll have all the Mega Mans and all the Castlevanias and all the Marios, all the Zeldas and Metroid, and that's 15 alone. And I thought to myself, okay, you know, let's stick with something that's realistic, something we can do, something you can go out and buy. They're pretty cheap still, and they're actually still quality games. So, my first one I'm going to go with is Double Dragon 2. Now, is it the best beat 'em up on the NES? No, it's not, but it's still a quality game, still pretty cheap. You've got 2 players you can play. The hit detection is still pretty good. You know, the sprites are still actually well animated. Good colour for a NES, for the 8-bit machine. I think it is still quite a bit decent. You know, good colour, good music. It does hold up well, and it does offer that challenge, which I think I tend to find that, you know, some games you can play it and finish it on your first go and you don't want to play it again. This game, it did make me want to play it again. I finished it and now I want to play it again, and I just thought, oh yeah, I've got 30 minutes spare, let's just go and have a quick blast, see how far I can get. And I find that game is absolutely brilliant. Highly recommend it. Yeah, I said it again, highly recommend it. So Double Dragon 2 for the NES is definitely a must-have. My next one I'm going to go with is Life Force or Salamander. You might be thinking, yeah, there's loads of decent shoot 'em ups. Life Force is, I find it's still pretty cheap, and it's high, you know, definitely worth getting. It offers a lot of challenge. I don't think you'll finish it on your first sitting. Really don't. It offers a lot of challenge, and this has got all the power-ups in there. It's still pretty good. It's still, you know, I wouldn't say really super close to the arcade, but it's got all that. Yeah, it's a dumbed-down version of it, but it holds up well. You know, you've got all your power-ups. All your ships and your bad guys are in there, and it goes, you know, horizontally and then vertically. I did an episode on this later on about you know, Konami shoot 'em ups, and this holds up really well. Yes, sometimes the music is a bit plinky and you want to turn it down a bit, but it doesn't bother you. And like I say, you can get it for about, like, I don't know, £5–10 unboxed. Definitely recommend it. It's a must-have for the NES or the NES. My next one I'm going to go with is Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden really did sell it, the NES. It really sort of changed everything. It's from the arcade, it came from the arcade, but they changed it over completely and made it more platform style with some gymnastic ninja style game in there. You know, several power-ups to collect, and this is one of those that you know, you will not finish this straight away. This is one of those that's known for being one of the hardest games for the NES. And I definitely recommend this, and it offers a lot of challenge. For me, it's one of the games I will come back and play. I say that a lot. You know, I find this one absolutely brilliant. The music, the special effects, the graphics, the colour, it's all in there. It offers the challenge that is needed. Like I say, you might be able to get £10–15 unboxed. I recommend it, definitely. My next one I'm going to go with is Master Blaster. Master Blaster was one of the first Metroidvanias before Metroidvanias became a thing. And yeah, what, you know, some people are like, oh yeah, no, this one I played, it's not. It did take me a while to get into it, but once I got into it and learned the maps, I found it to be absolutely brilliant. Oh, the power-ups, you get more and more power-ups, you just can't stop playing it after. You just want to go and find out what the even more power-ups to get. Now, you know, it's 2 versions. There's a side view where you're in a tank, and you're going around, you're shooting the bad guys, kind of jumpy, platformy kind of version. And your little man can come out and walk around, and then once you find, say, a cave or a dungeon, let's call it, then it goes to kind of top view down kind of thing, and you're a big sprite. Whereas, like, you know, side view, your man's like a little sprite, probably 8 pixels high or something. Whereas it's about 50 pixels high on the dungeons, which is great. I think that adds a lot of charm to this game. And like I say, I did not like this game at all. I wasn't bothered. I saw a review on it. It did not appeal to me. It didn't bother me at all. Then I found out, you know, I actually played it for a bit, and it's like, well, actually, yeah, it is really good. The music's good. It does get you drawn in once you've got used to the maps. Give it a try now. I recommend it. It's still pretty cheap, 10, 15 unboxed. So, you know, it might be a bit more but it's definitely worth a blast through. My next one I'm going to go with, well, what can I say, Contra. Contra, how good is Contra? Now, this one is it's probably one of the best conversions from the arcade. I don't think they did it for many things, actually. Yeah, I've seen things like the Amstrad version, and we've done the DS version, but back then, the 8-bit NES, yeah, this one is getting a bit more expensive because it's Konami. It's getting a bit more expensive. 2-player, simultaneous. All the power-ups are pretty much there. It's kept it true to the arcade. This one is, you've got obviously the limitations, but when you're playing it, it doesn't bother you. The music's there, the sound effects, it's got good gameplay, the hit detection, the collision, it's all there. And I do recommend this one. Definitely worth giving it a try. Well, what can I say? It's Contra. Okay, in America it's Contra. Over here in the UK we know it's Probotector. I know, Probotector, it's still the same, just with robots. I do recommend this one. Contra or Probotector, either one, same game, they just changed the sprites and a few minor details in the background. But recommend this one, of course, highly recommend it. My next one I'm going to go with Castlevania. Now you might be saying, oh yeah, Castlevania 3 is a great game. Yes, you're right, it's absolutely right. It is probably the best Castlevania on the NES. The thing is, it's going for about £200–300, so I've gone with Castlevania. This one's going to be more expensive. It is about £40–50 unboxed, but it's definitely worth getting. This is the most frustrating platform game you'll ever play, but you will still go back to it because it's one of those, you say you'll get to level 2 and then you die, and then you'll go a bit further next time you got to level 3 or level 4. And once you learn the patterns of the bad guys, and once you learn the patterns of the bosses, you find this game to be really challenging. You're like, yeah, I can do this now. And when you know where some of the secrets are, definitely recommend it. It's, well, what can I say? It's Castlevania. It's what started the Castlevanias off. It's not a Metroidvania. It's a Castlevania. And this one I do find to be still pretty challenging to this day. Even when you play the game and beating it, and you go back to it, it's like, oh crap, I can't do it. I still can't do it. I'm really trying. It is one of those. And the music as well. Well, what can I say? It's like you hear the Castlevania themes, and you're like, yes. You're just humming them away to yourself the next day. So I highly recommend it. This is definitely a must for your NES or NES or Nintendo Entertainment System. My next one I'm going to go with, now there's like 6 of these, you probably guessed it, Mega Man. So I've gone with Mega Man 2. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all great. They're all great. I just find probably Mega Man 2 offers the probably, I wouldn't say the most challenging, but it's probably one of the cheapest of the lot, and it's still one of the best out of all. So I've gone with Mega Man 2 because it's Capcom at its finest, you know, doing the platform games. It's when they took all the best bits from Mega Man 1, added it to Mega Man 2, and you know, once you've got the pattern of which bosses to choose first, and knowing which special weapons kill the bosses quicker, then you've got it down to a T, and this game becomes pretty awesome. Although it is Mega Man anyway, the Mega Man series are fantastic. It's Capcom, what can I say? But the Mega Man series, Mega Man 2, definitely recommend it. You know, your whole new baddies in there, and this is one of those challenging platform games. You know, this is going to make you want to throw your joypad down on the floor. It make you swear at the machine a lot, but you'll still keep going back to it, saying, right, I'm going to give it another try. A lot of challenging platform in there, and so absolutely a great game. Is still fantastic to play to this day. My next one I'm going to go with, well, what can I say? Yeah, Metroid. Metroid is in there. Now some people say this is dated. No, it is dated. It's not as good as some of the other Metroids, but it's an open world. A lot of platforming in there, and once you've actually got the maps down, you know, in your head, or your muscle memory's picked up where the map is, knowing where you're going, you'll find this game to be pretty easy and pretty challenging. But at first it won't be, and I'd recommend getting used to that. Yeah, it's going about 30, 40, 50 unboxed. Recommend it though, because it is still a good game. If you're starting out on the Metroids, probably try the other Metroids, but this one is definitely worth playing. One of my favourites. My next one I'm going to go with, well, what can I say? It's going to have to be Mario 3. It's probably the best game for the NES, or the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES. This is probably the best game. I think I remember seeing it score 98% in a magazine, and absolutely fine. This one, just it took years to do, and it really pushed the staff to their limits. But let's face it, it was worth it. Look at the final results, and yeah, it took about like 2 years to come out there over to us before it was in Japan, then it came to America, and it came to Europe or UK. It took absolutely ages to come over here, but what can I say? This is like the only way I can describe it is like an RPG but in platform style format kind of thing. And the RPG elements are you've got your power-ups, your raccoon, your frog, and your big boot, and your stone man. I can't remember the actual names for it. And you got all your power-ups and the whistles as well that get you transported. Once you know your whistles, you'll transport straight to, is it level 7 or something? You'll get and you're straight to Bowser or something. You can play the game. But then you like to go back and go through all the game again. This is one of them games that I don't think you can spend enough time on it. You will lots of hours of gameplay in this, lots of hours of gameplay, and you will be tested on some of the annoying parts. But what can I say? Mario 3 speaks for itself, or Super Mario Brothers 3 speaks for itself. Quality game, absolutely fantastic. The last one, my final one I'm going to go with is Zelda 1, not Zelda 2, or The Legend of Zelda 1. Now, this was one of the first. People say, oh, it's dated. It's very dated. Yes, it is still dated compared to some of the new Zeldas that have come out now. But it's open world, and this was like back in late 80s. It was 88, 89, say. This was open world, and this is like almost 35 years. So people are like, what's the best open world for the PS4 or the Xbox One? What's the best open world game I can get? Well, Zelda have been doing it 35 years ago-ish kind of thing. Highly recommend this one. What can I say? You start off once you've learned the maps. Now this is, to be honest, it is kind of expensive. It's going for about 50 unboxed, but you will get your gameplay out of it. If over the years you're going to get 50 hours gameplay at least. You probably could finish it in 10, but then you'll go back to it and see if you can finish it again, and then you'll go back to it later on and see if you can finish it again. What can I say? It's where Zelda started off. You get your sword, and then you go for your first dungeon, then you get your second dungeon and your third dungeon, and some of the clues are a bit cryptic or extremely, just don't make sense sometimes. And yeah, so you look up YouTube to find out what to do next. But this one I think still holds up well. For the NES, it is probably one of the best must-haves ever. So guys, there we have it then. Just 10 must-have games for your collection. Recommend all of them. Some of them still pretty cheap, some of them get a bit more expensive. There are loads I could choose from, absolutely loads. Like I say, I could just have all the Mega Mans in there, all the Castlevanias, all the Zeldas, all the Marios. Yeah, maybe that's for another episode, another 10 must-have games. But if you've got a NES or a Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES, if you've got one of those and you want to start collecting, or you haven't got any of them games in your collection just yet, go out and give it a try. Recommend it, definitely recommend it. So guys, there we have it, 10 must-have games for the NES. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.